Will Hurd needs to speak to his voters. And here on the Texas-Mexico border, that means he speaks Spanish.
Eagle Pass y Piedras Negras no hay dos ciudades, hay una comunidad.
Hurd won this majority Latino district by just a couple thousand votes in the past two elections. A notable win for the Republican Party as Texas experiences a major increase in its minority population. Congressional districts aren't based on areas. They're based on population. Each district has to have about 711,000 people, so when the population grows, district lines are redrawn. That can result in some odd-shaped districts to keep the right number of people in them. Critics say the process turns undemocratic when lines are drawn to leave groups of people in or out to favor political parties.
In modern-day redistricting, you choose your voters as opposed to your voters choosing the candidate. And so, I was able to buck that once.
Pete Gallego won the reliably Democratic Texas 23rd after it was redrawn, before losing those two close elections to Republican Will Hurd.
They looked for Latinos that had a high incidence of turnout, and it drew them out of the district. And then it looked for Latinos that had a very low rate of participation, and it drew them in, right? So that the state can stand in front of a federal judge and say, well, it's a heavily Latino district. And by population, that may be true.
The challenge over the 23rd failed to convince Texas judges this summer, but they did order a redrawing of nearby congressional districts. Matt Angle directs one of the groups leading that challenge.
In Texas, because the Republican leaders have gotten their advantage through discrimination, if you undo that, if you unscramble those eggs, if you draw districts that more fairly reflect the African American and Hispanic voting strength, the political balance of the state starts to come into place too.
Texas isn't the only state facing this issue. Across the country, 8 states have pending redistricting cases. The results could dramatically alter party control of Congress. Maintaining minority voting strength is a problem at all levels of government, says a staff attorney for a nonpartisan Latino voting rights nonprofit.
Minority groups don't always vote all together as they do in Texas, and they don't vote in ways you expect all the time.
Assumptions about voting patterns are problematic, says Robert Stovall, head of the San Antonio area Republican Party, pointing to Hurd as an example.
He's neither white nor Hispanic. Will Hurd is a very sharp, good black man that has been elected 2 times to that district, and those people know exactly who Will Hurd is, and they want him to stay there. And to try and gerrymander this so that some of these voters will go in there and vote for more Democrat elected official is just, it's twisting to their advantage.
It is a political debate the U.S. Supreme Court will likely wade further into this fall. Katherine Gypson, VOA News, San Antonio, Texas.